Alrighty. Greetings, everybody. We are back. So I would like to thank all of our listeners and those who are reaching out and asking questions. I would like to welcome a few new congregations from wherever you are. The Philly congregation, the New York congregation, all the people that are reaching out. We got some folks out in Minnesota. We got some folks in Chicago. Mm-hmm. So we want to encourage you all to continue to reach out and continue to ask questions. Mm-hmm. I think we're going to put together a presentation here soon so that when you reach out, you just get like a package. And I'm trying to just decide on whether to make it a PowerPoint or a website. Mm-hmm. Like a full PowerPoint presentation that we can deliver to you and then it's just done and easy, or a website. But I have the information, I have it all together, but I'm just trying to figure out what's the best presentation so that it answers your questions. Mm-hmm. Like that's what's most important. All right?
Yes.
So everybody's like, how do I buy land? If you're going to come over here and do it all by yourself, then do it by yourself.
Yeah.
I really have to say that because we're building a community here, and the object of the community is not to do it by yourself, right? There's multiple attorneys you need in transplanting yourself into another country. Mm-hmm. There's multiple offices you have to deal with, mm-hmm. And legalities, things. If you're going to do it by yourself, just go on and do it. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be expensive, so get your money together, jump out and do it by yourself.
Yeah, you'll spend more and save less.
That's the whole point in doing it as a community, because as a community, one, we buy in larger swaths of land. Mm. Two, we can build faster, pooling our money and turning that into a renewable resource for us. Now that's big fancy talk for saying, let's take the little pennies we got together now, mm-hmm. and make a place for us to live so we don't have to pay rent, mm-hmm. and make a business that pays for our expense of living, in another country. It takes care of our food. It takes care of our utilities. Mm-hmm. Then we can take from the net after all the expenses are paid, mm-hmm. and give ourselves a little monthly allowance for our families to enjoy whatever. We work in our business, we support our business, and we receive from our business, mm-hmm. The support. So the business just doesn't come right back to our pockets. The business made $10 million. That goes into expanding the community, expanding the businesses, and helping other people to grow the community, because the larger the community is, the stronger the community is.
Right.
So rather than be one person with $10 billion, we'll be a community that's worth $10 billion. Mm-hmm. Now the entire community is strong.
Right.
So it's not about the me and the I. Mm-hmm. If you come here with the me and the I in international waters, this will be your destruction. Mm-hmm. I can tell you that right now. There's people and families that have done this. They've gone out into Africa and they bought their land and they tried to become the me and the I, and I bought my land, it's mine. Mm. It didn't work out. I've been out here in international waters for now 8 years, okay? In 8 years, I have done something different than what most of our people do. So you have to understand, all the wealthy in the world are all a part of a community and a system. That system is run by 13 families. And these people are vetted. These people are coerced and participating in a business with these 13 families, right? So where's your community and where's your affiliation so that you can take part in the wealth? Because you're not going to get it outside.
Right.
The 13 families own industries, businesses, communities. They're facilitating this through a system, and that system excludes us.
Right. In which we are the ones that have started the
Well,
system when you read the law of how we were as a
Again,
people.
there's two systems in place. One, there's the Babylon system, that's these people. Our law gives us a separate system for us
Yes.
in how we can emerge out of the Babylonian system.
That's right.
It's different. So their system is one gets rich and siphons up the wealth to themselves. They siphon up the land and the possessions and everything else to themselves. However, our system takes the land and spreads it out among our people. It's a separate system. If you come out and you participate in the Babylonian system, when the day of trouble comes, I promise you it will come. You will not have any support.
Right.
You will not. That's just what it is. There is no ways around it. So I'm glad you're tuning into the podcast. I'm glad you guys are watching the YouTube. I want to thank, we are like receiving the donations from congregations. Some is going to our donation page. You can check the link tree below, and others are sending it in privately. We don't care how we get it, right? If we have silver now, people came with silver. So did you know that if you had 1 ounce of silver right now is like $28 in America. You can buy 1 ounce of silver for $28. That same bar or coin in Jordan is worth $55. It doubles in value. So we are taking silver. If you buy a bar of silver, you can contact us and FedEx it, UPS it. We are taking precious metals to begin to set up our own stores. Not to buy and sell silver, but we're actually storing it because we're going to transition later in the future into our own currency. You understand?
Yes.
Our own currency. We are an autonomous community, so we are our own governing body, right? We do work with the surrounding governing bodies, but we are of our own people. Our people answer to us, and we answer to our people. That's it. This is foreign if you're in America. You don't see this.
No, you don't.
So if you're from the West, this is different. We are outside the West. We are in the Middle East. This is different.
Yeah.
Okay? Everybody must take care of their own. And there's nobody to come take care about you. You have to take care of yourself within your community. When I came out, I'm also a part of the community. You say, how are you a part of the community? It's because of my family familiation. I am affiliated to families out here, right? So when you come out and you are part of a family, it has to be your family supports you with other things. You have to still build yourself and build your people, but they cannot take advantage of you in a plethora of ways. You know, like usury is one thing. Like
yeah.
there's the inside price and then there's the tourist price. You come
Yes.
out here, buy something on your own without support, you're going to pay the tourist price. I may get it, I can buy land and get land for $40,000, right? $100,000, right? Depending on location, application of the land have different values depending on what's on it,
Right.
right?
How you can use it to
Right.
multi or
Right. What's it appointed for? You know,
Right.
are there utilities there? Whatever, right? If you buy land out here, you also have to develop it.
yes.
So you have to bring in the water and the sewer. You have to hire the engineers. You have to everything. The whole thing of the system of what you attaching to, you have to attach to it.
Right.
That comes a cost that comes out of your pocket. So if you don't understand the system out here,
Right.
you're not gonna make it. Everybody you see out here established, they are established because of family support
Oh yes, the buildings have the names of the families
at the top.
at the top to let you know.
Who built this?
Yeah.
This is Abu Hamzu family. This Abu Sharia family. This Hamida family. This
Yes.
on the top of the building. We the family, we built this. It is the establishment of our people, our wealth, our community for what we want to do.
And the inheritance for the next generation.
The next generation. So you have to be part of a system. So I am bringing you into the system,
Yes.
reintegrating you back into the Abrahamic family, the way of doing things. So it's a little different. So it's not like you could just come here and put down, you know, $7,000, get you a piece of land and you're good. You see what I'm saying? It's not that simple.
Right, right. You know, as well as, you know, I'm thinking about when you came here at the time of the second Pesach. They recognized you
Yes.
as Sheikh. You know, they recognized you. You know, so
This is, you'll see me, right?
networking.
You see me making faces like, yeah.
Yeah.
Right? And you're like, why is he making those faces? I'll tell you why. Okay. My recognition, right, is not important. It's not
Respected.
It's not important. It is respected,
Yeah.
right? But there is no honor or glory in it
That's right.
until my people have something.
Yeah. What they said, Sheikh with no people.
What? A king
With no people.
with no people. We have never seen such a thing. How you have this land, you have this land, you have this land over here, land over there, you have all of this land. You are in the courts, you come into the court and you judge over us. When your people don't listen to you. How? It's a strange thing.
Yeah, and shameful when you think about
I
it.
mean, I'm ashamed about it, which is why I don't bring it up. Anybody who is happy to call themselves, you know, prince or king or ruler or anything, without any company organization for the people, and when I say for the people, I mean really community. I
For the
provide
people.
food, housing, economy for the people. Okay? It is a great honor for me if I have a small 2-3 bedroom house. Very small. One flat, that's it. And I'm there, just me and my one wife. But behind me and all around me is the people of my community flourishing in multifamily buildings and stores and supermarkets, all under my rule. This honor.
And I could truly say this because I am a witness. One thing that I truly recognize about you is that I never hear you say that you want this for yourself or you want that for yourself. It's always about what you want for the people. And that's very rare. You really see that.
This is the honor of rulership. It's the world is upside down right now. So you have people who have a lot of possessions ruling, and they prize the possession and not the people.
Yep, taken from the people, and they're the ones prospering.
Right.
The people are becoming.
They killing the people to take a greater possession. That's not the honor of rulership. The honor of rulership, the honor of kingship is for the people to prosper. The king have the authority. He have the power and he have the respect of his people. A real king, a real king. I've seen it. I live it. Real kings walk around here every day. Real princes. No security. Beloved by their people. You don't need, he don't need to be famous. They know he have the authority. Whatever he says, his people will do because they know it will benefit them.
Right.
Now and in the long run.
And for myself being here up underneath you and learning and stuff, I myself has prospered. I have prospered in my health. I have prospered in justice. I am prospering, and it's continuously growing one step, as we all always say, but I'm evidence. I'm an example.
That's the point of good leadership. It's not about what everybody else thinks about it. It is about the health of the people. It is about the people obtaining justice. There is an exchange.
Yeah.
You cannot have things your way, the way you want it, and get the results.
Right.
You see? So this is the understanding that you get. This is the training that you get in nobility, right? I myself, I only need what I need for myself. And that provision is already allocated. I don't really need anything else. However, the people need X, Y, and Z thing. And as the appointed leader, I have to organize the people in a way that prospers them. I can't organize them in a way that they are familiar if that way is poisonous to them.
Even my family, blood family members, they could see a difference in me. They could see a change in my sound, the way that I'm thinking. They're even seeing a huge difference.
That's the point.
In me.
That's the point. If you're healing the person, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're dealing with this person's health. There cannot be this strange business that they do in America. Everything is an entanglement. No, there's none of this. We're focusing on getting you family structure together, getting your customs and traditions together, getting your history together, getting your finances in order, showing you how your finances should be built for the future, and showing you that your wealth is not in your finances, it is in the resources that you produce from the land you possess.
Right, because I'm not working for the finances are working for me.
Exactly. So you have to show people to make the exchange.
Change.
Nobody tells people, right? So everybody says, yeah, you got to make your money work for you. When you join an investment company, everybody puts their money in. That's a pool. That's a community of people putting their money into a project. The project prospers and they give people back money. But who really got wealthy? The owners of the company.
Right.
You get more money back, but the owner kept the possession.
Right.
I'm telling you, you put the money in and you get the possession.
Yes. Yes.
And you work in it and you continue in it. Your son gets the possession. Your daughter gets the possession. It's a continuation. It doesn't disappear. It doesn't fluctuate that you have to invest, uninvest, reinvest, buy more, hold, stake, this. All of those gimmicks, those are unjust weights and measures. It's usury. It's illegal.
And in this system, you get to see for yourself the produce, the producing.
Yeah.
You're hands on.
The whole way. It's all
whole way.
hands-on processing. So you're hands-on in the traditions and the customs. You're hands-on in building the business. You're hands-on in learning how to manage. You're hands-on in learning how to build and fix. You're hands-on in learning how to buy and negotiate. You're hands-on in policing. You're hands-on in punishing. Right? You're hands-on every step of the process. And I'm so glad, like, we're starting to get the first ones. They're getting ready. Everybody's getting their passports together. They're getting their visas. And people are getting ready to make this move.
Right.
And we're not telling people to come out, like, right at this moment. Why? Because what's needed for them, right? One of the most potent mistakes that people make, right, is they come out and try to support themselves and build at the same time. Okay? So now what you end up doing is you basically travel as a tourist, and then you try to now support yourself and then get establishment in another country simultaneously. You're not a millionaire, right? You don't have the money to buy into the system alone, right? And then you end up, when you buy into the system, you spend all this money to get in the system just to become a servant to this new system. Now that's it. You capped off. That's it. You just changed nothing. You paid money to change location, but you haven't changed anything about your situation.
Right.
As a people, right? So now you just moved. That's it. The system hasn't changed. You haven't received justice. You don't have any rights. You're at the mercy of other things. You don't know the rules, the laws, and you have to buy everything. This is different, right? You're exchanging the money you have now for possession and resources. Now you have power. You're governing yourselves as a people collectively together. You're learning the rules and the laws as a collective and people together. And you're enforcing it upon yourself as a people collectively together. This now forms a nation, forms a kingdom. It doesn't work any other way.
No.
If you come in and I'll just get there. When I get there, then I'll contribute. No, okay, that makes sense to you. You're going to have to wait to join the community, because it takes X amount of time to buy the land, to go through the process, and to build the building for you to then move in. It takes more time. You see? It takes more time, right? Because now you're going to be sitting over there and you have to pay so-and-so rent. Whereas had you built in the community, once the building is built, when you travel, you have your address, you have everything, and you know you're coming in, and that business, you're going to receive a monthly stipend from the community. So you come in to a prospering situation.
Right.
Rather than you come in and you worried about what's the monthly rent. Then you have to pay the rent, you have to pay the electric bill, you have to pay your internet bill, and buy food and transportation. So you have to taxi from wherever to wherever, Uber,
Yeah.
all of that just to say, yeah, I should have invested with them while I was getting ready and I had all this money in America. Because you don't know when your jobs will collapse. You don't know when your remote work will stop. Then you have to reapply. You have these transition periods, whereas you invest with us, you build with us. When you come here, you receive a stipend and your home is secured.
Right.
Right? When it's time to get residency and take care of that legal paperwork, the community does it in bulk. So it's one attorney for a whole group of people. Rather than you now having to pay an attorney for yourself. Right? You have to pay 3 attorneys, one to build, one for immigration, and then there's another attorney in case you get into problems. Whereas the attorney, for when you get into problems, you don't need an attorney because we are governed by ourselves. We have our own judges, our own legal system and way. You come right in, you know the law because everybody is taught the same. So you don't need that one. He doesn't get paid.
You want to restart?
I will in a second. The second thing you're going to learn is the attorney for immigration. That everybody that's coming out is going to need it.
Yeah.
If you do it in bulk, we only have to pay him one fee for everybody. Everybody has the same paperwork. We don't pay per individual. Okay? Now that's cheaper. So now you may have gave a nickel.
Right.
A nickel. It's 100,000 people. You gave a nickel. He's paid. He's good. It's all filed and taken care of at one time. And we're respected as a community and an organization. It eliminates it. And the building. We only need one for the whole community because all the paperwork is the same. You don't have to keep filing or going back and make a mistake. No. One time. You get it right one time and you repeat it over and over and over again. You don't have to struggle with it. Right. We'll be back right after this. All right, so now we're back. So we spent a good 20, 25, 30 minutes just giving you a heads up. And that's for those of you who listen to it and you're thinking about coming out and you're wondering, to answer some of your questions, okay? The reason why we're doing it this way is because every other way has failed. We already have, various families, many families here already that are just surviving day to day, month to month, and they have to pay their rent. They have to pay this, transportation and food, and it doesn't work, right? Then when they get into a problem, I get the phone call. When there's an issue and somebody is sick, I get the phone call.
Yeah, because everybody want to do things on their own.
And that's the problem. So we're exchanging independence for community self-sufficiency. So rather than you being an individual, we take care of the individual's basic needs. And the individual provides service to the community, and the community makes the individual part of a collective. That collective grows collectively.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah, because when you think about it, when Joshua went to the lands to conquer, he didn't go by himself.
No.
It was
A collective.
as a collective.
It's a collective.
As a whole nation.
As a whole. Everybody in their place. Everybody's doing their parts. You're moving like the bees, like the locusts, like the ants. You are moving as a part of collective. This removes the glass ceiling and allows every man to prosper in his way.
Right. And this as well is what helps you to even learn more about the custom, returning and learning about the customs and the traditions of us as a people, because this is how we flow.
Right. This is how you have to flow together like water.
Yeah.
So now that's why we're doing it this way. Okay. So the common questions are, how do I buy land? Well, you could join with us or you do it by yourself. If you're doing it by yourself, I'm not wasting another minute going to find out how you can buy land by yourself.
Right.
Because if that's what you, if you have to ask that question, it means you can't do it. Right? Because I'm telling you, it's hundreds of thousands of dollars. I've already done it by myself. Right? It took 7 years to do it by myself. It's hundreds of thousands of dollars. Right? You're gonna pay for things you didn't know you need out here. You don't have a birthright. You got to buy that.
Right.
Now how do you manage that? You'll figure it out. Come out here and do it by yourself. I'm sharing my birthright with you so that you can partake with me, but there has to be order and organization because nobody wants to deal with bad people. So we have to deal with them ourselves. Right? You have to deal with it eternally. Nobody wants to deal with your personal issues. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wants to deal with it. I promise you, no government wants to deal with the personal issues of people from another nation, from another country. Nobody.
Right. You know, as well as if you think about it, you come here trying to do it on your own, and then you're going to their government system to get help and all this kind of stuff.
No, they don't want your welfare. They don't want you.
They don't
food programs and no.
And then what happens? That hurt others for being able to come in.
Their system is to support them.
Right.
We have our own. We take care of our own. We prosper of our own, and our system supports us. That's how this works.
Yeah.
They will let us come in, and it makes the country more beautiful because we said we came here. This country, Jordan, is beautiful. Jordan support us. Jordan give us the opportunity. And then just like the princes of Qatar and the princes of Kuwait and the princes of Oman, they buy land here and support their people, and they build together as a community, as a collective. You don't come in here and say, oh, help us, we're very poor. No, everybody will look down on you.
Right, the lack of respect.
You don't have respect for yourself. You don't even work together.
So why should we help you?
Why should they help you? You destroy yourself. You make yourself a slave. If you come out by yourself, that's the only thing you're going to do is make yourself a slave. So now I'm telling you how not to do it.
Right.
So that we can continue in the law that tells us what to do and how to do it. Because it's also a law for us in returning. We're not allowed to come here and work for these people we're coming to. You just left slavery where you worked for somebody. So how are you going to come in and have a business and obey the law? Oh, I know. Come on in, invest, let's build and create the businesses before you get here.
Right, so you don't have to fight to have the Sabbath off or the feast days off.
Exactly.
Because we're doing that all as a community.
Exactly. So I know some people go to our donation page and they see the big number, $36 million. Right? But that's $36 million for a large swath of land, communities, olive groves, you know what I'm saying? Farms. It's a whole community. But considering that there's 55 million of us just in America, so we're just dealing with America. All right, I'm not counting all over the world because we got people coming from all over. That's if every black person in America gave $1, we'd have the whole community done.
Yeah.
Right? We'd actually be struggling to staff all the businesses we put in.
Right.
Because we have the businesses, you have the buildings, you have the machinery. So we'd be struggling because you have to come in and learn, and everything would be built. But everything would be ready and available for the first community. When I say community, I don't mean like one block. I'm talking like this is a province. This is a province now. I'm using community because the word is common in the language for everybody understands a group of people living in an area. And I'm talking about a poor community because we don't even have that here. The rich and the poor live together. Together here.
And the thing is, this won't be the only. This is just be the first.
This one, and we have to scatter sites because certain things grow in certain areas. So if we want to put something like it's another project of mine to get something down by the Dead Sea. So that's another cost to buy what's there and develop that. Down in Aqaba, you know what I'm saying? To buy what's there and develop that. You have to spread out. And then the logistics of driving from each place, you know what I'm saying? So we have to have drivers. This is a large plan and development, and it consists of 1 million small pieces. You are the 1 million small pieces. It is built for you. So you have to invest in it and work it, and you receive all the benefit.
Right, because this is the structure for the gathering.
That's it. If it weren't written, I wouldn't tell you.
Right.
So we're going to start now. Let's get to numbers. So we left off from the graves of desires of the people who journeyed from the grave of desires. Okay, so these are the people who desired meat. And the people journeyed to Hatzroth, okay? And they were in Hatzroth. And Miriam and Aaron spoke against Musa. So this event here, it talks about speaking against the one who's laid the foundation for you, right? So what was going on in Egypt that they felt comfortable talking about leadership? Same thing that's going on in the West right now. Everybody's allowed to have an opinion. Everybody can have a joke. Everybody's allowed to say something about somebody else, and there is no respect.
Freedom of speech.
You have freedom of speech, right? So they spoke against Moses words that were not becoming with respect. So there's no freedom of speech here. There was no freedom of speech coming out of Egypt the first time. Okay? And this is to the Kushaita. Now, some of you don't know, so I'm going to give you a little background. You can look it up yourself. So Moses had a wife. She came from the land of Cush.
And this is not Zipporah.
It's not Zipporah. She came from the land of Cush. Now you say Cush was Cush. This Cush is Ethiopia. He had a wife from Ethiopia, and her name is Adoniah. So everybody is like, what? What are you talking about? Okay, so today, the Sudanese were the ancient Egyptians. They lived in Egypt proper. Okay? Today's Egyptian, this white people, these people came from Rome and from Turkey and from Greece during the Roman conquest in the area and the Ottoman Empire. So they all have the lighter white skin. But as you get into southern Egypt, it get dark very fast. So when you're talking about the Sudanese and the Somalis, these come from Egypt. And then you come down a little further, you get to the Eritreans and the Ethiopians. Okay? When Moses went south, he went down into Ethiopia when he fled from Pharaoh. So he went down into the kingdom of Cush, this Ethiopia. This is past the Nile. Okay? So he was down there. He took a woman by the name of Adoniah. Rabbi Sheikh, how you know this woman's names? It says Kushaita. Yeah, it's Kushaita, right? But this Kushaita is just saying that, just identifies this woman that she wasn't of blood lineage to the children of Israel. However, she married to Moses, she's here. Okay? If you want to look it up, I think it's in Jubilees.
It's in Jasher.
Jasher. Okay, it's in Jasher. Might be in Jubilees too, but either way, but her name Adoniah. All right? So this is the Kushaita, whom the Cushi had caused Moses to take when he had fled from Pharaoh. So you see, so when Moses fled from Pharaoh, he just went south and he remained in Africa. And he, in his wisdom and understanding, being raised in the house of Pharaoh, he began to help the Cushite kingdom come back into some sort of power from under the hand of Egypt that had grown strong under the hand of Joseph. So he was helping them in that time.
Yeah, his time with them was more of his training.
Well, again, it's
Added to his training.
It's going to add to it. It's an experience for him, but it's helping the Cushite kingdom to come up, to grow strong. So they see a benefit in Moses, who was raised in the house of Pharaoh. They know he have experience, he have understandings of things which they may have lost in their, succumbing to the famine that had hit Egypt at that time. So remember, under Pharaoh, with Joseph, Egypt grew strong and the famine hit, and all these other nations had succumbed to Egypt because of the famine. Well, now Moses comes out and he helps them get strong to recover from the domination of Egypt.
Right.
So what happens if you think about this? Now the Cushites become stronger people. They don't really need to support Egypt to have support.
Right.
They're stronger again. Okay? So when he fled from Pharaoh, but whom he had sent away because they had given him the queen of Cush, and he had sent her away. Okay? So now Moses marries the queen of Cush, but he refuses to have children with this woman. Okay? He put her away. She's still married to him. She's receiving food. She have clothes. but she ain't getting no loving.
Right.
All right, no sex.
Right.
So now, when I talked to you about earlier, the three things for a man to covenant a woman to him, you have the duties of marriage, sex, you have food, and you have clothing.
Right. And she was a redeemer.
No, yeah, she was married before. But the most important part that I was getting ready to say is she's still married to Moses because she's still receiving food, clothes, and a place to stay. She's right there. Okay? So that's what the situation was. And they said, now this is Aaron and Miriam. And they said, hath Yahweh spoken only with Moses that he should be separated from the married life? So the duties of marriage, this the sex and being with this woman, because I bet you she's complaining.
Yeah.
You know, she's sexually ungratified, but she's here. And Moses set her to the side and put her away, and that was it. Okay? So she's saying, hath he, the Most High, not spoken with us also? Right? So Moses is not so special that he should be separated from the married life. We all have husbands and wives, and we all have to get married according to the law. Yes. There's all these marriage rights and making babies and being fruitful and multiplying, all of this part of the law for both the land and the people. So no more babies outside of marriage, right? What is marriage? Simple, an agreement to be together with a proclamation made public. That is all. Okay? If this woman have a father, it is accepted by a father and a family. Even if they disagree, then it is accepted publicly by the court. In either case, marriage is a public proclamation and it is decided. Okay? You married from agreement. It start with betrothal. So once a woman is betrothed, she is considered married to that man. No sex, no nothing. She want him, he want her. We go straight to betrothal. After betrothal, courtship.
Right. No dating.
No dating.
I was thinking of that. So we're not meant to be alone.
Right? So now this is their question. And it was heard before Yah. Okay, so the Most High heard. Now, verse number 3. But the man. So now this classifies Moses in his position. But the man, Moses, was more Muslim.
Oh, so it's looking now.
Oh, y'all mad.
Oh, yes, they are.
I know you mad, right? The word there, bowed down. This bowed down is submission. He was more submitted. The word for submission is Muslim. Basira. He was more Muslim in his mind. In his mind. So where does the submission happen?
In the mind.
In the mind. Then all the children of men upon the face of the earth. So Solomon was the wisest.
Musa
was the most submitted. Neither cared he for their words. You You see that right there?
Yes, sir.
So Musa didn't care what people said, either about him or anything. The only thing Moses... All right, we're back. So Moses didn't care what anybody have to say about anything. What you say about this, what you say about that, anything. The only thing Moses cared about is doing what Allah want. Okay? That's bowed down in the mind. No harsh words? No harsh words. I don't care. Know this? Know this. I don't care. Move here? Move here? I don't care. So Moses' process in the coming out of Egypt had groomed him in a way that what people say about him, because he went from being a prince to being a prisoner, from being king to being a shepherd over sheep. He had seen so many ups and downs. He recognized it doesn't matter what anybody says about you. What all that matters is what God wants, and just do it. Okay. So he neither cared for their words. He didn't care about what they had to say. And now, this from the Ark of the Covenant, by the way. Just want you to know that. Yahweh said to Moses, to Aaron, and to Miriam, come forth, you three, to the tabernacle. So they weren't in the tabernacle when they said it. This, they talking at home amongst themselves in private business. But if you remembered in the last video, while I am discussing how the Most High's Shekinah spreads and imparts itself into the hearts of the people, the Most High is sitting there listening and calling every little thing into account. So remember, there's a law about not having bland words. Here you go, this bland words. You in this man's business and you're not concerned about discussing with him the matter to gain understanding as to why is he doing this. You're just talking about him. Okay, let's see what God has to say about this. And those three went forth. So now they have to go to the tabernacle. Okay? Now, what you don't see here, I'm going to put it in. So since they have to go through having been called, whenever you have to enter, you have to make the sacrifices to enter. Mm-hmm. So they go, they're making the sacrifices, they have to go through this whole procedure. Mm-hmm. Oh, this is the house of the Most High. This is not your house. You just don't unlock the door and enter. You have to come and bring what you're supposed to bring. So Moses brings what he's supposed to bring. Aaron does what he's supposed to do. The priests do the service, and the three of them enter. And the glory of Yahweh was revealed in the cloud of glory. Remember, we talked about this cloud, but where's the cloud? It's on the tabernacle, it's over the tabernacle, and it's in the people. Okay? And he stood at the door of the tabernacle and called Aaron and Miriam, and those two came forth. So Aaron and Miriam, he called them first. Mm-hmm. And he said, hear now my words while I speak. Have any of the prophets who have arisen from the days of old been spoken with as Moses has been? So the Most High start out with a question. Mm-hmm. He says, listen. You're talking about my friend. Has anybody before Moses came ever been spoken with as I speak to Moses? You hear me talking out loud to Moses and to you. Has it been so before? Here's the answer. No. To those prophets, the word of Yahweh had been revealed in a partition, speaking with them in the dreams. Go check it now. If you know about it, go check it. Because the Most High, he put Abraham to sleep
Yes, he did. Jacob.
and give him a vision in the dream. So everybody before Moses, sleep. You get the dream. Not so is the way with Moses, my servant, and all the house of Israel, my people. He is faithful. Speaker with speaker have I spoken with him. Talk to talk. Out loud. Who hath separated himself from the married life. But in vision and not with mystery, revealed I myself to him at the bush. So before he even came to you, I revealed myself to him in a vision, but not with mystery. At the burning bush. And he beheld the likeness, something like my Shekinah then. So you see a pillar of fire now, he got it very small. I just set this bush on fire, but the bush not burnt. And why have you not feared to speak such words of my servant Moses? This is the word come from this, right? Abdallah, servant of God. But now the Most High has personalized it. My servant, Moses. And the glory of Yahweh Shekinah ascended and went. And the glorious cloud of Yahweh Shekinah went up above the tabernacle, and behold, Miriam was seized with leprosy. Ooh, that was a nasty infection. They looking. Oh, snap. Oh, you open your mouth. You got so much to say. I fix you. Now, I'll show you something else too. So you say, well, the Most High only struck Miriam. Wait, remember Miriam and Aaron in this together. And Aaron looked upon Miriam, and behold, she had been smitten with leprosy. So now Aaron looks and he's like, oh, the Most High is angry. And Aaron said to Moses, I beseech of thee, my Lord, not to lay upon us the sin we have foolishly committed and by which we have transgressed. Right? So he turns to Moses. Hey, listen. These are my sister. She's not leprous. Wait, we made a mistake. Yes, we transgressed. We said what we wasn't supposed to be saying. We had no business in your business talking about you any kind of way. We accept this sin. Forgive us. Why? You want Moses to forgive? Because he was talking about Moses. But his transgression that he's doing against Moses is also committed against Allah. You in trouble. You want to say what? Ain't no freedom of speech here. It's not here. No. Respect and honor first. Right? He said, I entreat thee that Miriam, our sister, may not be defiled with leprosy in the tent as the dead, for it is with her as with the infant which hath well fulfilled the time of the womb, perishes at the birth. So Miriam was with us in the land of Mitzrayim, seeing us in our captivity, our dispersion, our servitude. But now, so what is Aaron saying here? Hold on, let me slow it down. He's like, listen, Miriam is our sister. Don't put her away. She was with us in captivity. She knows the bondage, the servitude, the harshness, and she's worked to deliver us out. She watched over you from the womb. She nursed you. And when I say nursed, not from the breast, but she was the handmaid to take care about Moses. And then when Pharaoh's daughter needed someone to nurse, she bring the mother. So now, listen, this Miriam,
Yeah, she was a midwife. I mean,
she's the midwife. She is the mother. She's the birthing mother of the nation. She's helping us. Every time Pharaoh make up something to kill the babies, Miriam is coming up with something to help, along with Pua, Pua and her other sister. But there's a lot of this. But this is someone who's seen our dispersion, our servitude. What dispersion? There was dispersion in Egypt? Yeah, they take some, they put them over here, they make you move over there, they put this here, and it's difficult to come together. But now when the time hath come for our going forth to possess the land of Israel, now the time of us coming together to move and go forward to possess the land of Israel, she is kept back from us. There's a problem. Why? This Miriam, she's the leader of the women. The women have a separate leader too. There's a chief over the women, the teacher. There's Miriam. I entreat thee, my Lord, to pray for her that her righteousness may not come to nothing among the congregation. Because now while she is unclean, that's it. To the back. You cannot say or do nothing or participate in anything holy anymore, anything set apart to the Most High, until you are cured of this. She is taking care of the widows and the orphans. She's the organizer, the leader of this. She's in charge. How are we dealing with the women? How we coach and teach the women and how to be mothers and wives. She is the founder of this. And Moses did pray and seek mercy before Yah, saying, listen to Moses' prayer. So he asked Moses to pray, considering what Aaron is saying, and Moses is like, all right, it's not a big deal to him. Remember, he don't care for what they said. Mm-hmm. He still doesn't know what they said. They're saying now, they confessing. We did say some bad things, we sorry, but come on, this is our sister. Okay, let's see how this works. I pray through the compassion of the merciful Allah. Look at that. I pray through compassion of the merciful Allah. O Allah, who has power over the life of all flesh, heal her, I beseech thee. And Yah said to Moses, if her father had corrected her, would she not have been disgraced? Mm-hmm. What's the correction? What if her father slapped her? Mm-hmm. You don't do this. You don't bring me this shame. Mm-hmm. Right? The father, he corrects the daughter. He beat her with the belt, or, you correct the child. Mm-hmm. Okay? He says, if the father corrected her, would she not have been disgraced and secluded for 7 days? Go sit over here. You want punishment for 7 days. But today, when I correct her, much more right is it. Now the Most High is saying, I corrected her. I'm the judge in the situation. It's even more right than if her father had corrected her. That she should be dishonored 14 days. That's what he said. Why? 7 days for the uncleanness and 7 more days for purification, plus offerings and everything else. Yet shall it suffice to seclude her 7 days without the camp. And for thy righteousness will I make the cloud of my glory, the tabernacle, the ark, and all Israel tarry and wait until the time she is healed and then readmitted. So now we supposed to be moving. We not moving.
Right.
Pack up everything and put her out there with the leprous and wait. It's going to be 7 days till we move. And Miriam was kept apart without the camp for 7 days, and the people went not forward until the time that Miriam was healed. But though Miriam, the prophetess, okay, so had made herself liable to be stricken with leprosy in this world, the doctrine is ample that in the world to come there remaineth a reward for the just. So this is on her account. Yes, she was struck with leprosy. Yes, she was liable, right? But the doctrine is ample. There's an amplification. It is abundant. That in the world to come, there remaineth a reward for the just and for them who keep the commandments of the law. Even making sure you guard your lips, the no bland words. Control this, and there is a reward. There is a punishment for it as well. However, should you guard this, this will lead you in the way to becoming one of the just who keep the law. Don't speak against the leader. Right?
Yes, sir.
And because Miriam the prophetess had watched for a little hour to know what would be the fate of Moses, for the sake of that merit, all Israel, numbering 60 myriads, being 80 legions, and the cloud of the glory, the tabernacle, and the well went not, nor proceeded till the time that she was healed. And afterward, the people journeyed from Hazeroth and encamped in the wilderness of Paran. They went through all of this just to go from Sinai to Paran. 3 stops. And you say to me, Rabbi Sheikh, but wasn't she talking about this with Aaron? What about Aaron? Who you think stuck doing the atonement for his sister? Aaron. So if you was with us when we went through the book of Exodus and he talked about the how you clean for the leprosy
In Exodus and Leviticus.
in Leviticus, we have to get the red heifer. We have to make heifer water. We got to clean her with the heifer. Who stuck doing this? And the priest in the water, and both of them unclean. The priest unclean every day until evening, making this atonement for his sister. Who else gonna do it? Aaron have to make atonement because he was in there participating in this. So now she's suffering. He's got to fix it. And the Most High didn't care nothing about what Moses is talking about. No. Listen, you're going to move forward, but you're going to get this lesson. Moses is not the magician to where he speaks and I obey him. I'm God. Moses obeyed me. It's like this. And that's a problem that we have today.
You know,
People think they God and the Most High serve them. Most High no serve you. We have an instruction. You going to follow. I'm going to follow. I'm telling you what it is from how it is. We're going to do it and succeed because we have the book with the details. Not just this one. There's a whole collection. This just the opening introduction and foundation. We have done nothing yet.
and you know, I had to say something to us women, especially you married women. One of the reasons why my marriage did not succeed is because I was guilty of speaking against the leadership of the household. I used bland words and I got put out. And I had to deal with my consequences. No, I did not get struck with leprosy, but I did get struck with separation. And so this is why those of you that follow me on Facebook, when I do share with you women about what you say and what you do concerning your husbands, is why I speak, because of my own experience. I experienced similar to my mother Miriam. And it was a very valuable lesson that I learned. Now, I am no longer guilty. I am now have been atoned. I still bear the shame of it until a particular time to come when my shame will be removed. So know that this law is real. And I wasn't really too much aware about this law. I'm learning more
As we go.
now as we go.
So this is her first year walking. Okay? It's my 8th. Right? So she's helping by showing the process as a student in the first year, making mistakes and corrections. This is the process. It's the process for us all. It is all the same. I went through this process and there was no one to film it. There's no one to capture it. I filmed myself. Okay. Now you're seeing the fruit of that process going through 7 years. And now I'm in my 8th year. So I'm in my first year of purification, but she's going through her first year of education and practice and seeing rapid results because we're in a different time. And you're going to go through the same thing. Once you get here, right? You know, after you've done everything you've needed to get here, you've made your investment or we've built with other people's investment and you're coming in to take a space or and come join the community, it's still the same thing, but you're going to go through the same thing. You're going to go through the same process. It may not be filmed, but you're learning hands-on on the job. You're going to learn when you're right, when you're wrong, and you're going to learn the rights. Because right now, we don't have a Bill of Rights. That doesn't exist. Okay? We have our rights, RITE, which is the traditional customs and rituals to correct problems. Rituals, yes, RITE. The word in our language is mida. So you have a right. We have a marriage right. There is a ritual, something that we do, a process that we go through. That's all a ritual is. It's a process.
Right.
Okay? So the right, the process for taking a wife, the process for growing the community, a process for judging in the court, a process for bringing about justice, a process of cultivating a field. These are rights. You have to learn them and do them. You see, if you miss out on the rights, then you miss out on everything. And that's all I got to say. One step at a time, y'all. One step, one step.
One step.